Hello, my brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about the second dream that I had on January 2nd, right after I had the other dream about Jesus on the 1st. And just like I said last time, for those of y'all who saw the short that I posted, I put it on there, and now we are going to officially address it. So just like last time, I also took notes. So in case I forget anything, and this one, so there's a lot of details in this one, but the other dream that I had, I remembered everything because it was a dream about Christ, right? This one, I might have forgot some things, which is quite unusual because usually I remember like 100% of my dreams. So, but to the best of my ability, I wrote everything down. So again, if y'all see me looking down, I'm just reading the notes that I took, and let's get to it. So here's the second dream that I had, you guys. I was in an environment that included AI and cyborgs that literally looked like people. The setting in my dream, it didn't zoom out a whole lot, but my dream was focused on a particular area. There's cyborgs walking around, there's people walking around. In the distance, I can see some air traffic, like flying cars or something like that. Like, I know which sounds kind of generic, right? But there was definitely some air traffic back there, like flying cars or vehicles, whatever it is. And as I'm looking around, I noticed these two cyborgs. There are two cyborgs that walk in front of me, and both of them are female cyborgs. And as I'm noticing these female cyborgs approaching me, there's also dialogue in the background, people talking, people mingling, just going through everyday life, as well as the cyborgs. The cyborgs are just walking around, going through everyday life, and I can see people intermingling with the cyborgs in the background. And by the way, the city's modern. The city's a very modern city. You can see like a garden in this corner over here, but for the most part, the city's very modern. So here's something that's kind of strange. The female cyborgs that I was talking to in my dream, one of them seemed kind of young. Actually, they both seemed very young. One of them seemed like she was like 13, right? So obviously, this sparks some questions. Why does this cyborg look young, right? This is weird because they're cyborgs. They're not human, so why would they look young, right? Maybe they were created to fit in society, right? Instead of just having a bunch of adult cyborgs, maybe whoever manufactured these things or wherever they came from, maybe they're making them look young to fit in with like children and stuff, to fit in with kids, right? Or are they like the Terminator, right? Are they made a certain height, right? And like, does the outside flesh age, right? Like the Terminator or something. Do they grow like humans? Now, I notice I keep saying cyborgs, but maybe they're not cyborgs. I mean, maybe they're androids. Androids, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too sure what the main difference is, but when I think of like an android, I think of the movie Aliens. There's a character in the movie Aliens called Bishop, and Bishop is an android. He looks just like a human being. You can't even tell the difference, but he's an android though. He's not a human. But when I go back and think about this AI humanoid-like thing, I think of the movie Ghost in the Shell. There's a movie called Ghost in the Shell. There's an anime about that movie, actually came out years ago. I think like in the late 90s. And the anime is called Ghost in the Shell. And the characters are actually classified as cyborgs. So maybe cyborg is the correct term because the characters in that anime, also in the movie that came out, I think like 2017, I can't remember. But they're classified as cyborgs, right? Robots that look just like people, but they're not humans, right? They're cyborgs. So I guess we'll use the term cyborg or android. I'm not too sure. But if I get Ghost in the Shell vibes, they're called cyborgs. So we'll use the term cyborg. So anyways, in my dream, there's dialogue being exchanged between like the people in the background and the cyborgs. And the younger female cyborg gets really close to me. Really close, you guys. I mean, within like a one arm's distance, and I'm not a tall guy. I'm short. So one arm's distance, kind of close. That's not That's not that far. That's really close, right? And I'm noticing, like, as this female cyborg is approaching me, I'm starting to notice like some chaos in the background amongst like the cyborgs and humans. They're intermingling, but I'm like, what is there seems to be like a confrontation. Not chaos, that's too much. There's more of like a verbal confrontation in the background as this young female cyborg is approaching me. As this young female cyborg is approaching me, I'm starting to notice the details on her. And I of course, I wrote everything down. This is quite strange because the details on this young female cyborg seem to give an Oriental presence. She looks Japanese. She has pale skin, her hair is long and straight past her shoulders, and she has bangs on her forehead. She's wearing a red shirt tailored to her female cyborg physique. She's wearing like a red shirt, and the lower half, she's wearing like a denim, like a blue denim skirt. So there's her physical appearance as well as her physical clothing. And then the other female cyborg that's standing next to this Oriental looking cyborg actually has like a Hispanic face. So we have an Oriental female cyborg, and then the other female cyborg is Hispanic, and she has her hair in a bun. Her hair is black as well, but I don't really notice the detail on her in my dream because of how close this other female cyborg is to me. She's like, she's within one arm's distance. So my peripheral isn't really focused on her. My attention is focused on this female cyborg that's in front of me. So that's why the other detail on the other one, I can't really recall, because in my dream I was focused on the one that's closer, right? So this is strange. Again, the cyborgs look like they haven't aged. This young Oriental female cyborg right in front of me, she looks very young, maybe 13 to like 15. She's like a young girl. And the other female cyborg, the female cyborg with the Hispanic face, she's a little bit older. She's maybe like 18 or 19. Going back to the confrontation that I'm noticing building up in the background as these two female cyborgs are approaching me. We're exchanging dialogue and everything, and I noticed at this point in my dream, I actually remember the dialogue. Now, a lot of times in my dream, there'll be like somebody talking to me and I'm like looking at something else. It's like a lot of times in the dream, the dialogue isn't there, but at this point in the dream, I actually recall the dialogue, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that means this is probably something important. And sure enough, it was the younger Oriental looking cyborg was saying things to me, and I was reluctant. I was like, what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm a human being. I'm much more complex than you are, than you'll ever be. And at this point, the cyborg puts her hands on me. She puts her hands on me. So now we're like scruffling around. I put my hands on her. She's got me like by like the shoulder right here, and like my shirt, and kind of like the same thing. I got her like by her arm and like by her shirt. And we're starting to scruffle. Tensions are definitely rising. And so I noticed as we're scruffling like this, I noticed the people and the cyborgs in the background are full on fighting. I mean, there's people running, there's things falling, there's chaos back there. I'm just like, what on earth? And it escalated quick. There's disorientation, there's disorganization, there's chaos. By the way, everything in the dream seemed pretty organized. You know, it's like a human robot society amongst humans and robots, right? But not right now. This is chaos. This is out of the ordinary. This is basically what happens when things go wrong in a perfect world. So here is the crazy part. It gets more physical. These two female cyborgs that are approaching me, they take a fighting stance. And they start to circle me. They cross one another and they start to circle around me. And this is cool because in my dream, apparently I'm very trained too. I know how to fight or something like that. And I take my fighting stance. I'm like, whoa, which tells me that our confrontation is at a full, we're doing this, we're fighting. So the cyborg with like the Japanese girl face, she starts making the first move. She starts swinging and kicking. I'm blocking, I'm dodging, I'm punching, she's hitting back. We're changing blows. And they're both attacking me, right? And as they're both attacking me, I kind of get rid of the one with the Hispanic face. I kick her out of my peripheral. I don't know what happened to that female cyborg. Maybe she's fighting some other human. I have no idea. My peripheral lets her go, and my focus is on, again, this young female cyborg, the Japanese one with the Japanese face, right, with the red shirt. So we're fighting, we're trading blows, and as we're fighting and trading blows, I'm wondering like how strong these things are. Like, are these things strong? They're robots, right? I'm wondering about their joints. Are their joints like ours, like a human joint, just like cyborg? I don't know, like mechanics or something, or are they like a lock and gear kind of joint, or like hydraulics? So I'm like, okay, so but as I'm fighting this thing, I'm like, okay, I'm actually holding my ground. She's hitting me hard, and I'm hitting her hard. I'm hitting this female robot hard, and these things are tough because they're not humans, but we're fighting and fighting, and I notice I eventually start to overpower this cyborg. I'm hitting, I'm dodging, I'm hitting again, I'm taking some shots too, but I eventually overpower this thing. And this is the strangest part, y'all. This is the strangest part of the whole dream. Not the fact that we got into a confrontation, not all that. The strangest part of this entire dream is as I'm beating up this robot, this thing like has a limit to what it can withstand, kind of like a human. And this thing notices it's getting beaten, and it takes a knee. And as this female cyborg takes a knee, it looks up at me and it starts to cry. That is the strange part. This whole dream, that is the most strangest part. This thing starts to cry as it looks up at me in defeat. And I'm still in the fighting stance, and I'm like, okay, are we done? And guys, the moment freezes right there, and I'm like, this is strange. This cyborg is crying, looking at me with red eyes. You can see the redness in the face, y'all, just like a person. And it was so very strange. And then that whole moment right there, I just kind of took all that in, and that's when I woke up. So I was like, my goodness, when I woke up, you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, again, I've never had a dream like that in my life, y'all, ever. So that dream is from the Lord. And the reason why I say this dream is from God is because there is a lot of AI out there. Potentially in the future, AI might start to run stuff. I mean, it already does in our supermarkets. It runs stuff. I mean, look at our phones. We have smartphones, very smartphones. Look at the computers we use. And then it gets weirder, you guys. As I come out of this dream, I'm asking myself all these questions. And matter of fact, I noticed an article the other day, you guys, and I'm a little bit late on this, but there is an AI person in power in the country of Albania. The country of Albania has an AI person in power. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. AI, Albania. Okay. Guys, check this out. Albania's AI minister is Delia. I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, but anybody can look it up. Feel free to correct me. And she is a digital avatar unveiled in September 2025 by Prime Minister Edi Rama, if I said that correctly, to oversee public procurement and fight corruption. So that is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy to what the country to, well, yeah, to what their country is coming to. I don't think that's going to fly here in the States, man. That is absolutely crazy. So guys, you know, like for those of y'all who saw the short, man, I had people asking me like is AI this? Is AI that? Is AI the Antichrist? Very well so. Hey guys, I can't remember what Bible verse I dropped on the short, but I think it was a verse from Revelation. Here's one from Revelation right here, Revelation 13, 16 through 17. This is the ESV version. This is talking about the mark of the beast, y'all. Also, it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of its name. So guys, a lot of people think that the mark of the beast is going to be achieved through AI, because honestly, guys, you can do a lot with AI, man. You know, they're talking about putting chips in people and stuff. So to answer that person's question, do I think AI is the Antichrist? Potentially. I don't want to say yes because we don't know. I don't know. But potentially AI could be the Antichrist, y'all. So y'all drop in the comments section. Tell me what y'all think about AI. Tell me what y'all think about cyborgs. How would y'all feel about that, right? About human cyborgs, human cyborgs, right? Human-like androids living among us. Me personally, I wouldn't like that, y'all, because that's a moral issue at that point. Even though they're robots, that's still a moral issue. Trying to create a human, right? Trying to play God. So, guys, drop in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. I love y'all. Stay tuned. I will see y'all soon.